Before we get started, a big thank you to all of my supporters over on Patreon and on Twitch, with the Patreon people coming up on screen now. A big thank you to my legendary supporters, Mike, Kira, Truck Driving Gamer, and Obi-Wan Kanzi. Thank you guys, I really very much appreciate it. If you would like to help support me and the channel, then you can head over to twitch.tv/ManageRequest and drop a sub over there. Or you can go over to patreon.com/ManageRequest and become a Patreon member for some early access to some videos and some behind the scenes stuff. So then, today, exciting day, first day with the new characters. So Trapper and Deep Wraith. Deep Wraith now named Sebastian, and the Trapper now named Akbar. Both named after films. I hope that's a lot easier than last time. It should be a lot easier than last time to guess. Last time was very obscure, actually. I don't know why I went where I went with that, but okay. So we're playing a side scenario as an idea to get a general kind of feel for the characters. You know, I like to do this when I just start with a new character. I don't really like to go out and do some really complicated scenario. I quite like to just, well, I mean, this looks like it might be a complicated scenario. It's a side scenario. But anyway, I don't like to go out and do like a main story mission. Just go and do something that we can kind of finish, maybe in one condensed kind of go, and we can, yeah, make any changes to the cards or anything that we might need to do after one scenario, because we'll get that general feel. So this is scenario 110, called Guardian's Temple. This is a random side scenario that we unlocked from a chest, I believe. And yeah, that's about it. A few other things that we have now that we didn't have before. We now have the town hall built, so we get challenges. So we'll be doing a challenge as well. Also, I'll be marking this scenario down after Dwarf's advice to actually, we're going to be marking this down to scenario level 1 for the purposes of this particular scenario, just because we're getting to learn new characters. We don't want to pressure ourselves really, really hard. So we'll just be playing like that for the first one, and yeah, we'll see how we do. Little Mermaid, was I supposed to spoil it? Ruined. Named your trap Akbar as well. Great minds, nice family. Strong name. Okay, so first up we need to do a winter road event, which is number 16. My hunch is you'll end up wanting the other Deep Wraith level 2, but maybe not. There's value in the other card for Trapper 2, both are good. We'll see, I guess. Okay, winter road event number 16.
Screaming is usually a pretty good indication something is wrong, and an Olgok's battle cry is a good reason to hurry up and get involved. Breaking into a full sprint through the snowy road, you quickly find an overturned cart surrounded by bright white Olgok's hides. A short distance away, you spot 4 Olgok's bandits attacking the Valrath. You shout to distract them from the bloodied Valrath. The good news is it worked. They stopped attacking the Valrath. The bad news is that it worked. They're now very focused on you. They growl as you circle each other, both groups waiting for the other to make a move. The Valrath whimpers in pain between you. Ooh. Option A. Don't let any of these bandits near the injured traveler. Take up a defensive position around the Valrath. Option B. The best defense is a good offense. Charge in and bring the fight to them.
Okay, everybody. Whole time. Which option are we going to go for? Which option? A or B? So option A was to don't let any of the bandits near the injured traveler. Take up a defensive position around the Valrath. Option B is the best defense is good offense. Charge in and bring the fight to them. A or B? Deathwalker and Deep Wraith both having DW as a shorthand is going to be confusing for a bit. I did, when Dwarf wrote that, I was like, it did take me a moment there. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Plus, it doesn't help that I keep forgetting the Deep Wraith name. I'm like Lurker Lurkerson. That guy. Purple Lurker man. Option C, who wants crab legs for dinner? What, we're going to eat ourselves? Oh, really? We're going to have a tie? So I get to decide. A tie? Huh. What would we be better at? Or would we be better at being aggressive, or would we be better at being defensive, maybe? So we have Trapper is nimble, Outcast resourceful. Deep Wraith is apparently armored, intimidating, nimble. It specifically uses the word armored. Armored. Big dice roll. Just because there's now a dice on the table, we're not changing this system of me having the overall overarching thing, okay? Like, I introduce one dice onto the table and you guys go crazy, alright? Was the poll the other day also a tie? There was a couple of polls that were been ties recently. Right, I'm gonna go for A, considering that we are armored. And we are intimidating as well. I felt like the Lurker, like Deep Wraith, will do a good job of that. Okay. I'm going to go with option A.
Your top priority is to defend this Valrath. You take up a defensive position and bear your weapons. The Orgox initiate a few advances, but seeing your resolute defense of the Traveler, they break off, collect the hides from around the cart, and retreat into the woods. Once you're sure it's safe, you check on the Valrath. The wounds are too severe, and you can't tend to them fast enough.
Oh.
You search the body. The dead have no need for material possessions.
Oh, I thought like maybe we might unlock a new class there. I got all excited. I was like, oh, maybe we go A, maybe unlock a new class. No, we do gain a skinning knife though. The other option was not so good, I don't think. We would gain 1 hide each, lose 1 morale. I mean, I guess at this point in time, resources are good for these characters to have, right? But we gain a skinning knife, 2, 3, 1. Do we have a hand slot item? We do. That could go straight onto the Deep Wraith, maybe? 2, 3, 1. It's a big number. 231. Where the hell is that coming from? 2, 3, 1. A big number. Ta-da! When you gain a loot token, gain 3 hide instead of drawing a loot card? What? When you gain a loot token, gain 3 hide instead of drawing a loot card? That's pretty neat. I mean, it takes up a slot, but I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think we would see anything like that. Like a...
Nice.
Like an item that basically doesn't really have any interaction in a scenario for the most part, but instead has Outpost phase ramifications. I mean, you're always going to take that, right? That's pretty cool. All right, well, our Deep Wraith now has a knife. I don't know. Now I'm thinking of that, like, meme with the, What was that meme? The... It's this guy. You remember this? This is us now. Okay. Now we need to do the old conditions. Well, conditions? Foreteller for the scenario. The scenario and special conditions. Special rules. 110. Knife on crab might work against personal quest though. Why? Isn't it just to have items? It's not like you don't have to have them equipped, I don't think, right? See you, Kira. Have a nice workout and dinner. Okay. 110, introduction.
Meditating on the directions in your head, you venture far into the Imperial Mountains and arrive at the stone face of a cliff. At first, you think this was all a fool's errand, but then you see it. A wedge-shaped hole in the rock directly in front of you. You insert the keystone, and the rock beneath it fades away, revealing an archway into the mountain with the keystone at the top. You proceed down the tunnel, and the cave eventually opens up into a much bigger room than you expected. Giant rock columns surround a weathered altar holding a scroll. You see a few enemies, but it shouldn't be too difficult to retrieve the scroll and make an escape. You are about to jump over a pool of water between you and the altar when the entire room suddenly sparks to life. Giant bolts of electricity begin flying out of the center of the columns, surrounding the altar in an electric force field. Your weapons don't seem like much of a match for this new barrier or the columns, but maybe you can find another way to destroy them. Looking around the room, you see a few old malfunctioning machines have started to emerge from a hatch behind the altar. Those little things certainly can make quite a blast when they are destroyed, so a plan begins to take shape in your mind. Perhaps you can make this work.
Oh, okay. So we got a bunch of stuff here. Scenario goals. The scenario is complete when all 6 ice pillars have been destroyed. Scenario effects. Each character gains curse twice. I think we got ignore negative scenario effects, didn't we? On one of them? No, maybe not both. Special rules. At the start of each round, 2 pillars become active in the following order. Both A, then both B, then both C. All active pillars electrify the 4 water hexes and 2 corridor hexes closest to them. Oh, okay. So it's like this would go like that, right? Whenever any character or character summon starts their turn occupying an electrified hex or enters one with a non-jump, non-flying movement, they suffer hazardous terrain damage. Whenever any ruined machine starts their turn occupying an electrified hex or enters one, it performs heal oneself. All character summons treat electrified hexes as negative hexes. Okay. Whenever any ruined machine dies while adjacent to an ice pillar, the pillar is destroyed. All ice pillars cannot be destroyed any other way or moved whenever any destroyed ice pillar were to become active. Sorry, whenever any destroyed ice pillar were to become active, nothing happens. At the start of each round, after the first, spawn 1 ruined machine at D. Oh, I haven't put that down, I don't think. That's there, isn't it? There. It is normal for 2 characters, elite each second spawning for 3, or elite for 4. That's kind of interesting. When 4 ice pillars are destroyed, we need to read something in the book. This is kind of neat. This reminds me of like a like a video game boss battle, you know, like where you come into like a where you like come into a room and you know you have to kind of like there's a puzzle to beat the boss and you've got to kind of use their own attacks against them, that kind of thing. It's got that kind of vibe where you don't really want to attack the enemies, you really want to attack the other things. How much health do these ruined machines have then? 8 and 5. I mean, 5's not a huge amount. Okay. They don't have shield, do they? No. But they are immune to poison, which would kind of make sense, because how do you poison something with no... Well, I'm surprised that they don't get killed by wound. Just place traps in front of it. Traps actually could be really quite good in this scenario, huh? Like, this is a scenario that cares very much about positioning. Very, very much about positioning. And traps give us a lot of control over positioning. So we can start... I haven't actually put the characters on the board yet, but we can start in either these three or these three. I guess we could split if we wanted to. So A is active on the first round. It's kind of hard to keep track of this one, huh? So A's are active, then B's, then C's. So A's, sorry, A's, B's, C's. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Seems kind of fun. What's the wording on trap cards? Can you put them on tiles with overlays? Yes. Corridors are not like overlay tiles. Yeah. I couldn't put them on the water hexes, of course. But I could put them on these ones here. I wondered what the point of those were, except for making it look pretty. But now, obviously, it makes total sense. And actually, thematically, it's very cool. Because essentially what's happening is that this thing is like shooting out lightning to this. Which is then kind of connecting and powering up. Which is spinning, obviously electrifying these and electrifying these. It's kind of spinning it up. It's a very cool scenario idea. This was designed and written by Drew Birmhall, which I don't know if I've heard of them before. I'm pretty sure that's not Gripe, right? Because Gripe is Drew. That's Drew, but I can't remember what Gripe's surname is. But I don't think it's Gripe. Don't recognize it as Gripe's surname. Unless it is Gripe's surname. Oh, I need to get you guys up on this screen. Drew only created this one apparently. Interesting. I wonder if it's like a designer of a. I might just quickly put his name into BGG and see what we get. See if we get any hits. No. Maybe a content creator or something? You specifically have ordered wooden hexes of this tile size, which will paint up in certain. Put them under the overlays. You find the new overlays a bit confusing since they are used in different functions. Hard to keep track of what it is during a scenario, and now is this one they can even change their status. Oh, I see what you mean. What, so you think you want like, so like you'll paint them up to be like yellow or purple. I like that idea. Or green. If we love it or hate it, it's done afterwards. I mean, sounds fun. Yeah, exactly. That sounds like a pretty good idea, actually. Oof. All right, these challenges are not going to want to shuffle quite. I haven't loosened them up enough. Okay. So we need to do battle goals, but we also need to do challenges. So I think we do battle goal first, then challenge. So let's go for battle goals on our Trapper first. Why not? Recluse, Daredevil, Miser. Oh, well, Miser looks like an absolute slam dunk for this scenario, huh? Never exit a room with loot tokens in it. There is one extra room in this scenario, and I have no idea what it does, but it would probably be okay, unless, of course, this particular room is the exit hex. I don't know. Like, if there's, like, if they put, like, exits here. But it does say that it's complete when all 6 ice pillars are killed, and all 6 ice pillars are in this room. So, hypothetically, I don't really need to leave this room, as per everything has been said. So, I think Miser looks like a very good... This looks like a great candidate for Miser. What is the icon on the bottom of Skinning Knife? Hide. If that's the one you're in. So, it's a single-handed item as well. That's what you're looking for. Single-handed. I could probably put it there like that. A little bit more space there. It is a single-handed item, loss, and we can get 3 hide instead of drawing a card. What would be quite cool to make it a little bit stronger would be that you get to like use it after it. So it could say like after you've drawn a loot card, you could discard the loot card with Skinning Knife. Like I feel like that might be a bit too powerful because it's basically like you're just always getting 3 hide, never getting rid of anything else. But you know, that would be pretty neat. Hide is what you didn't recognize. Yeah, it's kind of a new one. Okay, Pincushion. Be targeted by attacks from 3 or more enemies in the same round. Possible. Slowpoke. Move no more than 2 hexes on each turn. That's never going to happen. Opener. Kill the first enemy. I mean, we can just try and force that. I don't think we can use Slowpoke. Like this scenario is like teleporting around is going to be so strong. And now we have challenges. So let me just get the rule book a second because I want to make sure we do this right. But I believe all we need to do is draw a card. So level 1, we get to draw 1, keep 1. That's it. Draw 1, keep 1. Caltrops. Characters and their allies treat all hexes with loot tokens as hazardous terrain. This does not affect enemies. Oh no! Characters and their allies treat all hexes with loot tokens as hazardous terrain. That seems pretty hard. I mean, we do have a couple of loot 1s, I think, on our characters, but... Two curses for the scenario effect. Okay, well, I think that's everything sorted. That's no fun. It's not a particularly good one, is it, to get early on? No. Not with new characters, for sure. Okay, so let's... Well, let's start. So, first things first, the Deep Wraith. We have, at the start of each scenario, gain 2 trophies. So I'm going to be using this purple dice to show the number of trophies that the Deep Wraith has. So you guys can see clearly and easily what we have. So we'll start with that with 2. No other effects though, so we're just good to go, really. I need to put a token down for the spawn point, don't I? That's one thing I need to do. You would put the challenge back? Oh, can I put it back? Am I allowed to? Or do I have to have it? Is it just keep and discard 1, is it? Hey, you're right. The party can keep fewer cards than the limit. Return any cards that are drawn, but not kept to the bottom of the challenge. Okay, yeah, let's just not take it then. Okay, that's fine. It's not a, that's a horrible one. Not good for like our first scenario outing, for sure. Well, that feels like a bit of a anticlimax because we've been waiting to do that for so long. Okay. Right, well, let's do it then. So round 1, what do we do? Now I think like it kind of makes sense to just get Skull Collection going. We need to work out where we want to start. So A is active right now. I feel like we could definitely pull this guy. It's only got 5 health, so do we just go for it? I feel like the pulls are going to be so good. Yeah, okay. So maybe we just go fairly early here and we pull this guy onto the machine. Only one room? I think so, yeah. Do I try and kill him immediately, or do we just kind of like leave it for now? Getting some traps out could be quite cool. I feel like this is pretty nice though. Isn't it better to kill? It's probably better to kill B at this point in time, huh? It's probably better to leave A and go for B. And then go for C. Yeah, I think it might be. Because if we think that like this is all electrified, right? These guys aren't really going to want to walk through them. Yeah, the next trigger is we need to kill 4 pillars, okay? And the only way that we can damage the pillars is by getting these guys to die next to them. So once the ruin machines die next to them, that's when it kind of all happens. I'm guessing that enemies can take damage, huh? When any character or character summon. They'll heal themselves when they enter an electrified hex. That's a little bit scary. I guess realistically I just need to get Skull Collection going, huh? Maybe I don't do the pull right away then. Maybe we save the pull for a second. We do that on the next turn, maybe. And maybe we just get some traps out instead. Yeah, I think that's probably better right now, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to change what I'm doing, because it just makes a little bit more sense. Nah, we'll stay there. Okay, we'll figure it out. Hey Zol, just probably to say hi. Saw that I am playing Trapper now and you're excited to watch. You're playing Trapper 2. Any advice on how to play this specific party comp? Well, looks like there's not really a tank and our party is about to be in the same boat. I have no clue right now. I'll be honest, I've only just started playing it myself, so I could not give you any good advice right now. My gut feeling is that that increased difficulty is probably going to be out of my reach. So I'm probably not going to be able to play on, like, I could probably play solo +1, but I doubt I'll be able to play much higher than that. I might struggle. But also my other gut feeling is that it's going to come down very much to controlling the enemy's movement. So it's going to come down to positioning, knowing your focus rules and playing very well around that. So it's going to come down to, you know, beating the enemy's initiative if possible, It's going to come down to making sure the enemies kind of get directed into the right avenues. It's going to be tricky. You're going to have to try and kill things before they kill you, but it's going to be hard. So this is season 2. I guess it kind of is like season 2, yeah? In a weird way, yeah? Okay, and we go late on the deep wraith? No, because we want to move into the, we want to get the blast, don't we? Do, 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 do. Kind of brutal trying to figure out what we're going to do. We're going to definitely play Skull Collection, I think. Everything else is just so good. Maybe Haunting Brutality. Oh, make a decision. Come on. Oh, no, that's not 20. That's definitely 28. Oh, he's making dark? Oh, that would have been good to know. Did I do scenario effects? Yes. I put curses into the deep wraith stone. Okay, so Shrike Fiend's going to go first. All enemies within range 3 suffer 2 damage. Retaliate 2, create dark. So nothing happens, basically. Trapper time. So I'm going to create one 4 damage trap in a hex within range 2. Gain an experience point. Boar catcher. Then I'm going to move 2. And then create a blessed trap in a adjacent empty hex. Jabba can't start there. Can you not? Oh, you're right. It's these 3. Sorry. Oh, it's same difference. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Good catch, but that shouldn't matter for what I wanted to do. Yeah. Okay, so that's Trapper done. So Deep Wraith, we're playing our Skull Collection. That's going to get us 2 XP. So what this means is that now, on our turns, we may perform any number of the following abilities. So we can consume a trophy to do a poison at range 1. We can consume a trophy to do muddle at range 1. And we can consume a trophy to infuse dark, create dark. So we have that as options open to us from now on. In Cloud, I was just going to use as a generic move 2 to move on to the positive trap here. And to gain ourselves a bless. Okay. So living spirits are moving 1. No more targets. Ruin machine, moving 1. Oh, this guy can't move. Hang on, what's the thing in the middle? Is it? It's an obstacle, right? So they can't go through it. They don't have flying. No. Okay. So he can't move. Maybe playing on reduced difficulty is not great, huh? Makes it a teeny tiny bit harder. Is this the first time I've encountered ruined machines? I think it is, yeah. I think it might be. Okay, so next round. So now 1 ruined machine is going to spawn on D. That's number 8. And now B is now the active pillar. So now these hexes are electrified and these are electrified, right? Striker, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the quest. They've got a fun surprise. Okay, well, I guess we'll try keep it as a surprise for now. I think I want to go really late on the Deep Wraith here, see what happens. Do we think that's going to be enough damage to kill? What's that, a 4 damage trap? Plus an attack, maybe we get 5 damage off the trapper onto the regular. But he does heal... So he will gain some healing here, I think. Actually, so how is this going to work, actually, in terms of sequencing? I guess there's going to be a little bit of sequencing ambiguity here. So what if I want to pull this guy into this trap, and I manage to pull him, like, through non-electrified, and then he goes into electrified? Is that... Like, when does the heal happen? Because they heal for 1 when they enter the hex. Will the heal happen before or after I trigger the trap, right? It does say when it enters, so I would presume that it would be, the heal would happen before. Yeah, I think so. Frosthaven just came here from YouTube watching Gloomhaven runs. Oh, awesome. Luck Striker. Good to have you over on the live stream. let's just see how this goes, right? I'm going to play this very, like, let's just kind of, like, see what the... Let's see what kind of happens with these characters, shall we? Okay, here we go. So we have move 2. If the move ability was performed, ruined machine suffers 1 damage. Okay, that's pretty cool. We'll take that. So it's only going to be able to move 1, right? Because these are still difficult terrain. So it's going to go 1. These are obstacles. This is difficult terrain. So it's only going to move 1, and it's going to take 1 damage. Then this is going to move potentially 2, 1, 2. Takes 1 damage. It's going to heal 1, but then take 1 damage. Right? Kind of weird. Are we just starting? Yes, it's only 2nd round. We managed to get a trap out, that's about it. Oh no, is it going to move on to my trap? You son of a bitch. You just ruined my life? You actually just ruined my life? I mean, I can pull it through the trap still, but... I think it does. Ruined my goddamn life. Okay, so that is a curse and ice. So one more curse on the deep rave. Oh dear. 3 curses right now, 1 bless. Okay, Trapper. Only characters and the summons take damage. Yes, so the electrified thing only applies to the characters. Okay, I didn't really think this one through, I don't think. Well, I'm going to default move up there. I don't think this works, but... I mean, it does work, but it's not as good as I would maybe hope. Okay, so we're going to use Exploding Decoy on number 9 here. So we're going to attack him for 2 with our Trapper. So we're going to be attacking for 2 here. 1. And then pull 2. So 1. So 1 heals for 1. Is it 9? So 1 heals for 1, but then triggers the trap, which means it takes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it heals for another 1 because it's there, right? Ugh. That's terrible. That's awful. I thought these guys would be really easy to kill, but maybe not so much with that kind of stuff going on. Wouldn't the heal and trap happen at the same time, so your choice on timing? Yeah, I think it's pretty ambiguous, yeah. Okay. Deep Wraith time. Missed the attack damage, you think? Oh yeah, I might have done one more damage to the damage. So actually, maybe not so bad. I guess if we hadn't drawn the -1 there, we were killing it. So that was all good. Right, time to get crazy. I have no idea if this is a good idea or not, but I'm going to try it. So we're going to use teleport 3. That is going to give us a damage, right? With a non-jump, non-flying movement. What do we reckon with teleport, chat? Non-jump, non-flying. Well, it's not a jump, it's not flying. Technically movement? Yeah, teleport is not movement, right? So we're going to say no, it doesn't do the damage. It was crap to kill for the battle goal, so it's fine. Yeah, I guess it is kind of fine. Yeah, teleport is not a movement. You're safe, I'd say. I'll take those odds. I like that. So we're going to use Mantle of Dread. We're going to consume the dark here to do poison everything at range 2 and gain an XP. Our ruined machines are immune. Rip. Maybe not such an easy scenario. Oh, are these immune as well? Okay, what? I completely did not. I was like, oh yeah, sure, I just jump in and poison everything. That'd be great. It's actually really bad. I can poison one thing. Well, maybe I change where I go now anyway. Wow. I honestly thought, like, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. I completely forgot that basically the entire scenario is immune to my character. Maybe it's going to be the Deep Wraith who's going to struggle this one, huh? Maybe I don't do that then. Maybe I just go invisible instead. I mean, I could just kill the ruined machine, couldn't I? Right? With an attack 2 top. It's a bit boring, but yeah. Yeah, I could do Dusk. I was just trying to be clever. I think that's like the better play, but just not the most fun play. I think I'll do the same thing, but I'll go invisible. And spend a token. Spend a trophy. And then we'll attack for... We'll just attack for 2. +0, yay! So this blows up, which blows up this one. Destroyed. And that means we've done the battle goal as well. So it's clean and easy, huh? Shut that over there for now. I'd suffer damage from the water. Hang on, you're telling me... Some of you are telling me that I do, some of you tell me you don't. I'm teleporting. For all hazardous terrain, if any figure enters hazardous terrain hex. Yeah, but it's not a hazardous terrain... It's not hazardous terrain hex, though. I would say that like it's like teleport making you immune to this feels not in the spirit of it, I will say. Special rules say they suffer hazardous terrain though, right? It says they suffer hazardous terrain damage. Doesn't say that it is hazardous terrain. But I also feel like it's not in the spirit of the scenario anyway. Like, in my opinion, it's not really in the spirit of the scenario to... Like, obviously, thematically, the reason why flying and jump don't trigger it is because you're going over the beams. But, of course, if I'm teleporting, I'm still stood on the ground. But you still take the damage if you start your turn in the hex. So it kind of makes, like, a fairly decent amount of sense. So, like, thematically, it doesn't really hang very well. Okay. I already feel like I've used so many cards. I've only got, like, only having 9 cards on the Trapper, man. Feels bad. Having said that, how do I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? 4, 8. Oh, I'm missing a card, am I? I've only got 8 in my hand right now. What have I done? I haven't played one out, have I? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just realized I got like an even number of cards in my hand. So that can't be right. It's definitely 9. Did I just not take an extra card for some reason? I counted them out earlier. Huh. I must have put one back in the... must put something back. What did I put back? Snake Pit? Oh. Spike Pit? Must have been Spike Pit. Or is it Electrified Net, maybe? Just put Spike Pit in. Playing with this card hunting game? Yeah, I'm not sure how I did that. I thought I counted them all out. I must have put one back when I thought I was swapping a card. Okay. Anyway, that's... There goes. So... We're happy with all of that. So B has been blown up. So C is the next round anyway. And we need to spawn another one of these. Maybe we'll just keep using the same standee for fun. Makes things easier for me. Okay, so we're invisible right now. I think we need to kind of like maybe run away a little bit. We're invisible on the deep wraith, so we can probably get some good things going here. I can Bane something here. The old Bane. Oh, I should have got an extra trophy, right, when that guy died. So we get a trophy when we kill an enemy, yeah. Or it dies from either wound or Bane. We also get a trophy. Oh, it didn't drop a loot either. Loot, very important. Electric water has also started to... yes, I know, Mayor. Yeah, I know. What do we do here? I feel like I'm invisible, so I'm like really incentivized to go very late here. Feels like I should really go late. The Shrike Fiend's kind of annoying. But we might be able to kite it around for a little while. Feels like a rough scenario to begin a party with no flow yet. Spawns and weird rules. You like it though? Yeah, I did. When I saw the scenario, I did think, oh. But the thing is that the other side scenarios I had were worse than this. So I kind of felt like, okay, it's also like not a long one, really, in terms of like it's one hex. We don't have to worry about spending loads of time setting up other hexes or anything like that. We can just play. So it seemed like, yeah, it was pretty good from that angle. Okay. Well, I'll just go 89. We'll see what happens. Okay. Range 5. Is that going to get me regardless of where I was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that gets me. That gets me anyway, right? So it's going to be an attack of 2 on my trapper. 2. So trapper time. Yes, it's gonna remove 5. Just move up to there. And then trap time. I guess what I should be doing is I probably should be doing, like, putting the damage on them and stuff. To make it obvious what they do. What do we think? Seems like maybe that's a good idea, considering I'm going to have so many on the board. I don't know if that's what they suggest you to do anyway. Three damage and immobilize. Immobilize. Is Frosthaven a similar difficulty to Gloomhaven, or is it a bit more balanced? It's more balanced in... Okay, it's more balanced when it comes to the characters. So the characters feel a lot more like you're not going to get maybe some of the stupid, crazy shenanigans that certain characters had. Like, there's characters that are just flat out broken in Gloomhaven, and when abused, make pretty much any scenario feel very, very easy. You're not going to get that here. You're going to get shades of, like, power where certain things feel more powerful than others, but in general, most of the characters are going to be able to kind of stay around the same kind of power level. Now, that's different, I think, to difficulty. I say that Frosthaven is more difficult and less balanced in terms of difficulty. Because in Gloomhaven, you had pretty much like your characters were so strong that difficulty was almost kind of like, it didn't really matter what the scenario was. You could kind of, the difficulties felt very similar, apart from some outlying scenarios that everybody has said, oh yeah, you know, Oozing Grove and Chained Isle, like these are hard scenarios. But for the most part, a lot of the scenarios felt very similar, and you could quite comfortably set the game on like +1 difficulty and just play, and that would be a comfortable difficulty level for you. Frosthaven, I don't find that that's been the case so far. I found that maybe this is also because I'm playing 2-player, but I found much more often than not, I'm needing to take the difficulty level down or up or mix and match it. Like, I'm finding that some scenarios I'm completing very quickly and fairly easily, but I'm also finding other scenarios where I feel like I hit a complete roadblock and I can't beat it without lowering the difficulty or making some serious change. So for me, Frosthaven difficulty feels less balanced, but the characters in general feel way more balanced. Hey, no problem. Yeah, it's a very, like, I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm going to be putting together a review eventually of Frosthaven. I am not ready yet to do a proper video review, but I will do at some point. And that is one of the things that I have kind of like in my mind, whereas I felt a lot more in Gloomhaven. I was very comfortable at increased difficulty and I could just set it to that level and kind of set and forget and just keep playing. I feel like Frosthaven, I don't really want to, because you hit a scenario that's much, much more difficult and you don't really understand that it is. You, with more experience of playing the game, especially some of the new enemies, you'll go, okay, I really hate these enemies. Let's bring the difficulty down maybe. Like Shrike Fiends, for example, really dislike this enemy. I think it's a very obnoxious enemy. And I like, it's just not, in my opinion, it's not really fun to fight. And it's just annoying. I mean, it's doing its job as an enemy, I guess. It's annoying, but for me, it's not like a fun to fight enemy. And like any scenario that has Shrike Fiends in, I know could go very bad, very fast. So you kind of like don't want to play on increased difficulty with Shrike Fiends. I need to bane the Shrike. That's what I'm hoping for. Living Spirit is just going to chill there and it's going to attack my Trapper for 2. The Trapper's already taken too much damage, you know? Oh, no. All right. No, it's absolutely fine. I take it all back. So these guys are going to move 0. Absolutely 0. Number 8 is going to heal. I believe. That's actually really bad for me because I was about to Bane it and now I can't. That sucks. I did not think about that. Have we done any damage here? No. Ugh. Yeah, I was about to get like double Banes off and it was going to be so good. So I'm going to take 2 damage for starting my turn on it. I'm just going to die to the scenario conditions, aren't I? How did the living spirit get... Oh, you're right. You shouldn't be poisoned anymore. You're right. You shouldn't be poisoned anymore. That was from the attack that I took back. Well, the ability that I took back. This kind of blows, really. I can't do anything. It's actually just ruined my turn. Like, completely. I mean, I could get the Bane up on the Strike Fiend, but now I'm going to be... Basically, I'm going to be up 3 health. I suppose I won't take any damage on the beginning of my next turn, at least. Because C is going to rotate back round to A. So... I'm thinking I probably should have stamina potioned on my... Stamina potion maybe on my... Trapper. Yeah, I kind of screwed this up really badly. This didn't work at all. Yeah, it's just bad. Okay. Okay. Well, I just messed it up. I just basically didn't do anything. Muddle the living spirit. I'm also going to spend a couple of things here, I think. I'm going to spend... Do I want to get dark? Do I need dark? I could spend 1 to make dark. And then use the poison vial to poison the living spirit, maybe. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Then I was just going to use an attack for 2. I really messed that turn up super bad. I didn't really understand what I was doing there. So we'll just do a default attack 2. So 3, so 1 damage. Okay. Yeah, not so good there, chat. Not so good, but I just completely whiffed Dark? Oh yeah, we made dark, right? We'll make another one of these guys. Let's see, number 7. Okay. I don't think I actually needed the dark now. Oh dear. It's gonna take a while to get used to these characters. I don't think I even needed the dark. No, I don't think I even needed it. Yeah, I didn't even need the dark. Trying to figure this out, but it's kind of weird. Trying to figure out this character. The trap is just going to be killed again, maybe? I don't know. So A is the one that's active, right? Right now? A. Okay. See, this is why Strike Fiends are just annoying, right? I hate them. So, 0 on Deep Wraith, +1. So 3 on the Trapper. Like, how am I losing already? Alright, well, we're going to do an attack up 2 with the poison 3 on this Living Spirit and kind of hope that we just draw, okay? Well, yeah, that's definitely dead. Dead. Get a trophy. Oh, and 1 XP. And invisible. Then I think we go teleport. Oh, it's A is the one who's freaking active, isn't it? Ugh. Oh, I guess I can go here, can't I? I just want to... Yeah, I can go here. This is fine. We'll go on number 3 and we'll wound the Strike Fiend. Oh, he's immune to wound. What the frick? This scenario is just like anti-Deep Wraith, it feels like. Really, like, oh, by the way, don't think you can use negative conditions. Ugh, it's not a good showing to begin with, is it? I guess I'll go get the loot and just wound up the number 1, the elite. Sure. We'll use skinning knife. So instead of draw, we'll get 3 hides instead. How about that? I feel like we may as well do it. The awkward thing here is we have to remember to take these off of our sheet though if we lose. Get 3 here. How could you, Drew? Yeah. Hang on, didn't I wound you? Okay. Okay. We've already been on you. That's my next turn. Flurry of nails then, huh? Should I just try and kill the elite, or... I have a good opportunity to just kill the elite here, which I think I'm going to do. How much damage is that? It's 3 damage and immobilize. I can make it 4 damage, 5, 6. It's not bad. And then we just go on a super... We just use stamina potion, get something... like that. Sure, okay. Right, so we'll use Flurry of Nails here. 1, 2, 3. Increase the damage by 1. So this is now a 4 damage trap. Hey, Tweenie. Don't know why that didn't play on the screen. Thank you so much, buddy. 43 months. My oldest sub. I appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing awesome. Time flies. The quest continues. It always does. It always does. Thank you, buddy, so much. I really appreciate it. Unavoidable outcome. So we're going to attack for 2, range 3. We'll do it on this guy here. So we'll attack him. Okay, so that's no damage, but we spring the trap. So it's going to do 4 plus immobilize. Okay. Pretty brutal that, but if we had drawn like even like a -1 there, he would have gone down to 2 and he would have just died. So it just blows. We now have to attack him again. The life of an early attack modifier deck, yeah. Oh, sorry, I needed to use a stamina potion there, which I'll do to get back. Ball catcher. Okay. Next round. Spawn another one of these guys. It's just like we're not killing them very quickly, and they're just going to keep spawning. I mean, the thing is that you can kind of keep them at arm's length, so it's not so bad, but I'm sure at some point they'll actually do something annoying. So it's now on B, right? It's B. Did I create dark last turn? Yeah, I created dark last turn, right? Remember, everybody? I think we all saw me do it. No, I don't need it, again, because I can't use any of the conditions. Jesus, oh, that's why I didn't do it, because this character can't do anything in this scenario. Okay, yeah, now I remember. Oh, man. How many times have they drawn their 10 now? I want to have a guess. What are the room machines doing? If the attack ability was performed, all adjacent enemies suffer trap damage and the ruined machine dies. Oh, okay, that's pretty spicy. Is there any way that I can make that work to my benefit here? I'll just take the... Wow, I'm just probably going to be burning a card here, aren't I? Oh, I mean, I'm getting lucky here, but I don't feel good about it. Just do not feel good about this scenario and these two characters. Basically feels like our Deep Wraith is doing absolutely nothing. Like, just there's nothing we can do. Can't do our kills. Can't do any decent attacks really because we can't stack the poison. Just feels rubbish, really. Just feels rubbish. They're only moving one. What's trap damage in this? 3 or something? Yeah. I don't know. Let's just... What thing is active this turn as well? I guess I can work it out. Round 5. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, A, B. So it's B. I don't know. Let's just place a trap here. We have Ball Catcher, get 1 XP. And then move here. No. Just hope I don't die. I got no cards in hand, so that'll be 2 from my discard as well. Hey, Ike. Yeah, I'm not really jiving with this at all right now. I just not really... I mean, maybe it's... The scenario is pretty mean, to be fair. Even on lower... Like, I'm playing this on, like, really low difficulty, and I should just be, like, basically... moving and attacking. It's boring, but I want to try and play the characters. They're just not functioning. Neither of them. So I guess I can go and disarm. Then attack for... just attack for 3. See his next turn though, so being there is death. It'll be dead. It'll be dead. That's the plan. So number 1 can't do anything. Number 7. Move here. It's going to attack for 1. Nothing. That's good. It dies, which blows up this, right? So he's gone. Number 8. Gonna do. This is like a pretty fun ability though. 1, 3. Really? Oh my god. I've burned 2 cards. Okay. I guess it was gonna happen at some point. Well, it's not like my cards do anything anyway. Oh, I suffer trap damage. Oh, I thought it was all enemies to it for some strange reason. I'm not really feeling this scenario at all, chat. I actually feel like just quitting this scenario right now. I just can't be bothered. Like, this is really annoying me. The scenario is just, like, it's just so I can't play my characters. I'm learning absolutely nothing about my characters playing this scenario, except that they are bad at this type of scenario. Oh, like enemies being immune to negative conditions. Good luck, Deep Wraith, having any fun. Like, at first I thought this could be quite a fun scenario because I could pull the enemies into the traps, they could blow up, they could trigger. Like, I thought, oh yeah, my positioning abilities would be quite good, but no. Very gimmicky, you would call it. I don't think it's like a bad design scenario. I actually feel like it's pretty cool. Like, the theme of it's really cool. But it just hoses these characters and there's nothing I can do about it. Like, and I don't really feel like it's just not, I'm not enjoying it. This scenario is okay for them, but the choice of cards was kind of bad. What do you mean choice of cards? We only got so many cards to choose from. I mean, the choice of cards was bad. There's not really many other cards that we could have bought here that would have made a massive difference. No. None of the, I would say none apart from maybe Furry Facade to go invisible, but none of the cards that we had on our trap would have done anything different. Really? Like, it doesn't fundamentally change the mechanics of the character. The mechanics of the characters do not work in this scenario. Mantle over Skull, yeah. I mean, that was, I just slammed it because I wanted to try it, but I didn't look at I didn't know that the real machines were immune to poison when I slammed it, to be honest. I didn't look. So that's my bad. Probably play Black Scythe instead of one of the other cards, I think. Probably. Yeah. Yeah, maybe if I played Black Scythe instead of one of the other cards. Would have made a difference. Would have been able to attack for like 4, which would have been pretty decent. Hollow Aura would have been okay against killing the Living Spirit to begin with as well. There's like 1 or 2 small changes we could have made to basically not do the Skull Collection thing. Like, if we moved off of the Skull Collection plan, we could have changed a few small things. Yeah, I don't think we would. I don't think we would even play the Bane, to be honest. The Banes, or at least the top Bane. We'd play the bottom Bane for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the mood to chat, I'll be honest with you. This is just doing my head in, so I don't want to continue on with this scenario. As much as it would be, I'm not going to sit here and just get frustrated about it and moan for the next like 2 hours while I try and finish this scenario off. It's just, I'm not enjoying it. I'm not gonna complete it. It's just frustrating me, and I just don't want to. When I'm in this kind of mood, I just don't want to do it. You know, it's been a long old week, and I'm tired, and this isn't doing it for me. And yeah, I made a few mistakes. Like I probably shouldn't have played Skull Collection. Yeah, absolutely. Could have changed that, but it's literally like my first scenario playing these characters. I'm not gonna play it 100% right. I've never played against Ruined Machines before. Like, it's just like, my worry about this party is that this is gonna become quite common, because I don't like. Unless things are firing on all cylinders, these characters are going to struggle. Because I just don't have any good value, just actions. All of my actions are conditional in some way and need something to go. Whereas, you know, I don't have anything that's just like a decent value attack that's easy enough to pull off in a pinch when I need to get through difficult scenarios. So maybe I need to make sideboard decisions and choices around that. But this is like not that. Table flip, yeah, kinda. I just don't not enjoying it. So, you know, if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not gonna finish it. Most of the unpicked characters have felt very conditional in Frosthaven with the unlockables. I feel like, and this could be a common problem that Frosthaven and maybe future Haven games are going to have. The more characters that they need to create, the more specific the mechanics need to be. I mean, you need some decent move and attacks in there. And to be fair, I had some in the sideboard that I could have brought in. The trap is the one that's like very much in one avenue. Like, unfortunately for the trapper, you are. Unless maybe some level ups might change some things a little bit, but at least to begin with, I feel very much like we need our traps and we need to make them work. Like that's pretty much all we have. Like we could have made some changes on the Deep Wraith to be a little bit more of a viable, just, you know, good attacks type character. Certainly, we definitely could have done that. But like, I don't really want to play on now where I'm going to be playing from behind for a very long period of time. I'm just going to be playing from behind now. And I'm not really going to learn anything from it. Sideboarding has been important for you in Frosthaven. Very few cards are just flat out bad in every scenario. Yeah. Yeah, unlockables. Yeah, I mean, this is like my first experience with these guys. And to be fair, I felt like they still can be quite... They will be, I'm sure they'll be fun. I'm sure they'll be fun once we get going. It's just like a scenario like this. I was looking for just a scenario to play, and there just isn't one. Like a new one that we had that was... like fairly straightforward. I didn't really feel like playing a main story one. Maybe I should have just played a main story one. It would have been okay. But I like going to a side scenario because it just feels like you can, you know, it's like low pressure, right? It's low pressure. You don't really have to worry about it. But it's just like, and this is one of the concerns of the scenario design. Scenarios are just sometimes a bit way too much. And that can be thematically really, really cool. And to be clear, I do actually feel like thematically, this scenario is pretty cool. But it heavily favors certain characters in certain like play styles and things, right? Characters with lots of pull. Like if I was playing, for example, Trap and Snowflake for this one, right? If we made the other choice, we'd gone with the other party. This scenario, we probably would have felt really good about it. We'd be like, wow, this is pulling stuff in, getting it to the right place, killing it. Like, we probably would have felt really good about that. But instead, we are kind of in a weird situation where we can't we can't really win, and they're just going to be constantly summoning these ruin machines, which is, we can deal with them, but yeah. And I might be able to play on this scenario for a little bit longer, and I might be able to, you know, to get a decent way into it and closer to winning, but I just don't see the point. How do I feel about Trap so far? I don't feel like I've played enough to really make any proper comment on it. Like, I don't know. You think Snowflake would be dead last because of the Shrike? Possibly. You feel this scenario is not very friendly for Trap? Well, it's not friendly because there's only a very limited amount of places for me to place traps. This scenario in general was just bad for my both of my characters, right? For different reasons. Like, lots of immunities, so I couldn't really play the Wraith in a way that I really wanted to. And lots and lots of like hexes that are filled up, so I couldn't really play the Trap how maybe I would like to, or at least attempt to begin with. So yeah, I feel like it's just a bad scenario for them. Again, I don't want to like talk too much bad about the scenario, because I actually feel like the scenario is pretty interesting, and one of the more interesting kind of thematic scenarios that we've come across. Like, I like the fact that there's like a different idea in this one, and it feels kind of very like boss fighty, you know, fighting the environment. Like, it's a cool idea. I actually feel like the idea is pretty cool. And that you have to position the ruin machines to be able to destroy the altars. Like, that's the pillars, sorry. That's cool. And the problem is that someone decided to put a Shrike Fiend in this scenario. So I really dislike it. I really dislike it as an enemy. I need to think more about these two characters. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely true. You played Trap, Bone Shaper, and Drifter in this scenario, and in that party, Trapper did well. Yeah, I feel like we could do okay in this scenario, but like I'm behind now, and this is a scenario where I feel like once I am behind, I'm going to struggle to get back into it. And if I'm going to burn 2 cards on a character that's got a 9-card hand, and we're not even halfway through the scenario, it's GG. So like, we may as well just stop, right? Like, I'm not winning. Because I can't long rest in this scenario either. Like, there's no room to long rest, so it's just over. What's so bad about Shrike? Haven't played versus it, so I'll show you what's bad about Shrike. So obviously this is one of the worst ones, which we drew multiple times in this scenario to make it even worse. But 10 initiative, range 5, target 2, attack 2. Like, it's just a pretty decent attack, allows them to draw a card. You know, they draw a +1, +2, ×2, anything good. That absolutely annihilates low health enemies. And when I'm playing 2 mercenaries, like, there's no, like, it just attacks everything. There's nothing I can do about it. And it does it on such a low initiative that I can't really respond to it or do anything about it. It's just going to happen. So that's problem number 1. That's problem card number 1. Next problem cards. They have pure damage on 9. So if you do go in and trying to engage them, they can flip a 9 initiative to just do 2 damage and then do retaliate against you as well, which can just be like, I can't attack this guy and he's just done 2 pure damage. Like, you don't even get the opportunity for them to flip or miss. It's just pure damage onto you. Really, really bad. Gather the Flock is bad because it pulls everything in, then does pure damage again to everything within range 3. And then also, you know, you can imagine what it's like them doing this and then comboing it into like the 9. That's 4 pure damage into your team. It's just really difficult to deal with. Immobilize, 49 initiative. Target 2 with immobilize. There really isn't... I mean, the only ability is, I guess, probably Birds of Prey, 23. Not so bad, but it's still an attack, range 6. You know? Like, they're basically an artillery. They're basically like an artillery, but they are very hard to avoid because they move. You know, an ancient artillery, you could like leave at the back of a room, work out its range and say, stay there, and I won't deal with you until I'm ready. Strike Fiends don't, unfortunately, work like that. They will get up either in your face or they'll pull you towards them. They are somewhat uncommon, but MQs hit a lot of the scenarios that have them. Yeah, I mean, I've had like 3 or 4 scenarios with Strike Fiends in now. You feel their ints are also annoying, either very fast or very slow. You mean as a player, you want very fast, very slow too. Yeah, they basically counter the most players' initiatives, right? As a player, it's very difficult for you to work out what they're going to do. Because they could go very early, they could go very late. They could go a couple of like middle. They got a 49, right? The 23, 27. It's just... Yeah, it's hard to play around their initiative, for sure. You usually have to be a priority target, but also since they have such high range, it can be hard to get them sometimes. Yeah, yeah, that's the other big problem with them. I really dislike Strike Fiends. I just don't think that they are a particularly interesting enemy to fight. They're more just frustrating. And the thing is that we all know the really good feeling when you're playing Gloomhaven or Frosthaven to some degree. Although I feel like Frosthaven's been a little bit less. When you dodge that card, right? You know what the abilities are. You've been paying attention to what's flipped. You're like, I know that they can go on this initiative and I need to dodge that. Strike Fiends aren't like that. Strike Fiends are more like an archer where you're pretty sure every single card is bad. You can't really like do anything about it, and I just don't particularly like those enemies. I like ones where they have memorable abilities that you can avoid if you play well. Stuff like Deep Terrors, right? With their very specific patterns that they do. You're like, right, well, I kind of want to do this, so I'll make sure that I finish my turn in this position so that I'm not in that pattern, just in case on the next turn they draw that pattern. And then they draw the pattern, and then you're like, awesome, I made a really good decision. Like, stuff like that I really enjoy. I just don't like it when basically the enemies can always do annoying things to you all the time, and there's no way that you, the player, can outplay them, aside from just killing them. Like, you just need to kill them quickly. It's like, oh, well, there's no, like, outplaying, you know? It's just, yeah, I just feel like they just don't need to exist. Or a lot of their abilities could just be trimmed down. In the beginning, they didn't do that much, right? So there's a couple of instances where they might not. Remember though that I'm playing on basically normal difficulty here, where I should be playing on +1. They scale as well a little bit. So once they get this move 2 at level 3, that's a really annoying jump. From 2 to 3, really annoying jump. It's just like I just feel like any enemy like this where it's just really aggravating, it should be used very sparingly. very sparingly. There is space for enemies like this, but they should be used very sparingly. Maybe I've just been unlucky, but I'm just like, I'm done with fighting them. You need to disarm at 6-7. Great design. I'm actually like a bit of a fan of that kind of thing, because I feel like it increases the difficulty in a more kind of natural way, rather than just pumping stats. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough of me like moaning about Shrike Fiends. But I will say that like this particular scenario it's not like a main story one. It is a side, so, but I feel like it's pretty interesting. And I just hope that we don't just have a glut of all of these types of scenarios that are just more stuff every time. Like, oh, now here's a giant section on special rules. You know, like when the special rules box is as big as the blurb for the actual scenario text, you know, maybe, you know, you can have a couple of these, but maybe don't make every scenario like this. But I don't know, I actually still feel like the scenario design is pretty tight and interesting. It's just, yeah, not for this play. That's why it's a side scenario. It's not why it's a side scenario, it's because of how it's been designed. Okay, so what's important to realize is that I don't know how much or if any scenarios were designed by many people other than Isaac. I don't know if Marcel designed any scenarios I think he did in basically Gloomhaven, but like basically Gloomhaven had mostly all design credit went to Isaac, with a few other contributors. Whereas a lot of the side scenarios in Frosthaven have been created by other people, like either other designers, other board game designers, or like content creators, you know, media people. And my worry is that some of them are, hey, I can maybe make the best scenario, right? Like, oh, I can make the most complicated scenario. You know, some of the best scenarios are not always the most complicated. In Gloomhaven, a lot of side scenarios have more rules, right? Not necessarily. There are plenty of main scenarios that have as many or more special rules. Yeah, there are some as well. You think all the side scenarios in Gloomhaven were made by guest designers? I did not think that was the case at all. You sure? Because, like, Gloomhaven was not famous, right? I don't know why. That seems to me like... I know Isaac had designed a game before that, but I would be surprised by that, because like Gloomhaven was the game that kind of like, you know, it was the game that created the whole thing, and it gave the pedigree, right? There was nobody looking necessarily at Gloom. Like, I think people had playtested it and said it was good, like the first edition, but I don't think like it had that pedigree, right? It was a tier on the Kickstarter to make a scenario. What? Maybe the salt is blinding stuff, maybe, but I found more and more while I've been playing Frosthaven that like I come across a scenario, or like, I mean, I'm playing 2-player, which is not ideal, and that I always have to try and like ground myself by telling myself every time that I come up against something like this, because it's like, yeah, okay, like every character is sometimes going to have a slightly weaker or stronger scenario. You can't design every scenario so that every character is going to have a equally good time, because ultimately the game would be very boring. You know, it would be really, really boring if the scenarios were balanced to a point where every character could have equally as good an opportunity to win it as every other. You know, it makes you feel good when you come across a scenario where your character's really well suited to it. You're like, oh wow, yeah, I can do this really cool thing, and it makes you feel good about your character. And it also gives the chance that when you're playing a big multiplayer game, that somebody's character has the chance to shine, right? Like, oh yeah, you're gonna be the character to shine in this scenario. It suits you really well. So, like, I'm okay with that. It's just for me, like, because I'm playing 2-player, sometimes I get into these situations where I just feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, my characters just don't seem to work. But if I was playing 3-player here, maybe I would have had another character who could have really helped and would have filled in those gaps, and we wouldn't be saying that. You know, we would be like, oh yeah, actually, although my characters are still having a tough time, we were still managing to get on with it. The combination of having like just 2 kind of low health characters and them both not really being able to operate at, you know, 100% their efficiency, their kind of effectiveness, is what really hurts us. So maybe when I get used to the characters, you can play 3-player. I thought long and hard about that. I can't. Like I said, it's not just about playing. It's not just about showing you guys everything. It's also about my mental capacity after working a full-time job and coming home and streaming and doing this as well. Like, it's about that. Like, I can't do it. Flipping through the scenario book, it feels like something like 70% of the side scenarios are quests if we remove the personal quest scenarios. But it was more, so sorry for missing it. That's fine. I mean, I was interested to know if you were right or not. I really didn't know. Yeah, but I would have been surprised if there was a lot of guests. Like, I would imagine like Marcel probably had some scenarios in there. In fact, I'm pretty sure he did. But I wouldn't have thought like Isaac would have, I would have thought Isaac would have done the lion's share of everything in that. Whereas he's still done the lion's share here, right? It's just that there's all the side scenarios, or many of the side scenarios. Marcel's scenarios are very Marcel. You'll definitely feel it with player. I'm not going to lie. Today we were going to potentially play a Marcel scenario, and I decided against it just because of how big it is. So the other one was the... So I'll show you it in the book. It's the more one that we've unlocked. I can't remember what number it is. I had it out earlier because I was looking at it. The Eternal Crave, 122. 122. Yeah. Look at how many tiles it is. I was like, I'm not really in the mood for that today. No special rules though. I mean, not yet. There might be future ones. But this one's also co-designed by David. I think it's Tursky. I'm really bad at pronouncing name. Tursky. And he designed He's a really prolific designer, right? I think he does a lot of... Does he do a lot of CGE games? No, nope, that's not a good one. Oh, interesting. There are 100% special rules. They're on the next page. Okay, hidden special rules. My favorite. Puzzle equals Marcel, yeah. I mean, I don't mind some puzzly ones. But yeah, so I don't really know what we can do with this scenario. We just kind of like just go back to Frosthaven. It feels like a bit of a damp, a wet towel kind of ending, you know? I was like, yeah, we'll be our first scenario playing with these characters. And I was like, oh no, the game is not really going to let us play. I made some mistakes, but I wanted to play with the fun cards. I didn't want to play with, like, the Attack 3 Curse card. Like, boo. Probably should find a less complicated one to start with. Yeah, or just one where I can, like, just, like a normal scenario. Like, hey, kill all the enemies in this room, then go through this door. You know? That's all I want. I'm a simple man. I just need that. I don't need anything more. Yeah. So I guess we'll just, like, give up and go back. You sometimes want those just to feel your characters, but you can't find it. I definitely agree with that. There is a level of complication. You know, there's like a sweet spot where if you go a little bit too past it, and then it's like you need a bit of a balance here and there. And you know, I was being stubborn. I could have just gone and done a normal campaign mission, and it probably would have been much more straightforward. But I just felt like, oh, let's go do a side scenario, because I know that the side scenarios are ones that they're the kind of ones that I'm less likely to even do, because I'm more interested in, like, finishing the story, the main campaign, and then the side scenarios will be something that I could always just play as, like, one shot. Let's just open it up and play it and just see what the scenario is like. Like, for me, it's not something that I really need to do to kind of get my final thoughts. I want to play a couple of them and to get an idea of what they're like and what the general kind of, like, scenario quality is like. But I don't need to play loads of them. Suggestion, do number 3, which is unavailable as I did 2. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Yeah, so a little bit kind of anticlimactic, really, but I don't want to sour my thoughts on these characters, so I don't really feel like I want to continue. You know? I kind of want to play them, you know, and enjoy them and really get to explore them, and I don't want to lose this scenario and just do nothing. I mean, I could just get loot and stuff, but to be honest, I'm just not feeling it, and if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. Cool. Okay. The purple dice works pretty well, though. I think for the trophies, that's going to work quite well. Need to get used to using the trophies very aggressively, I think. That should be good. So, like, next time, to be honest, I think I'll probably just go and do a regular scenario. I think that's for the best. Like, we just go and do a story scenario. Like, let's not, I think the story scenarios that we've got left to do... Oh, I tell you what we could do. We could go and do the Ice Pillar one, which was a scenario that I know I was really hard on. And we've tried it twice and failed twice already. But it could be... This could be a pretty good scenario for it because we've got a lot of pure damage on the Trapper. So maybe that would be quite good on the Ice Column one. Kind of stalled at the moment on Lurker and Algox branches. Yeah, a little bit. But I feel like that Algox one, I could maybe have a better shot at doing it this time. Because the characters, like, for example, Bane goes through shield, right? And the whole problem with that scenario is that the enemies get, they get, like, shield and retaliate bonuses. So if I could just ignore that stuff and just straight up, hey, here's a, you know, here's a trap, walk into it. Let's just pure damage straight through the shield. Doesn't matter. Bane, of course, straight through the shield. So they actually feels like they would be pretty good at the scenario if you played methodically, right? Or shoot a 20 damage trap in their face. Yeah, or that, right? So like there's, yeah, I mean, like maybe that this could be a good pairing to break through that kind of barrier that we had where we were doing too many regular attacks last time. Now we've got characters that, well, don't really do that. Saves the ongoing story ones for after we're more familiar with characters. Yeah, okay, I like that plan. Maybe next time then we'll go back and we'll try that one again. What's it called? Like Catacombs, or is it Crystal something? Crystal Trench? It's like scenario 10 or something, isn't it? Crystal Trench? Crystal Encasement? Crystal Encampment? Something like that? Crystal Enclosure. It's Crystal something or other, right? Crystal Enclosure. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so this was the one where each ice pillar they gain shield X, where X is the number of ice pillars within range 4 of them. So essentially, these guys all have shield 3 to begin the scenario. Quite difficult, but of course, if we could just one-shot them with a trap, suddenly that's not so difficult. I think that's like a pretty good idea. Am I going to abandon this one? Looks like it. Looks like it. Yeah. I need to take that that hide off that I got, right? Because we didn't finish. So hide's gonna go to 0. I just don't feel like we're very well versed for it. We can quickly go and do, I guess we can quickly go and do an outpost phase. I mean, technically we have to because we're going back. So we have to do an outpost phase. So we'll do a quick outpost phase. Algos have high HP, so maybe not one shot, but yeah, it should be better. I mean, if we can kill the scouts, right? I don't know how much health the scouts have, but yeah, kill the scouts. Poison and wound will help a lot as well. You know, I feel like we're gonna have like a bunch of stuff that will, like a lot of our cards will help a lot. We got a blesses, strengthens, like just feels like we're quite well suited for that kind of thing. Doesn't mean that we can completely ignore the scenarios though, for sure. We still need to actually kill them. You know, like kill the pillars and stuff. We can't just completely ignore the pillars and just go all the way through it. So we'll go this. So we'll do an outpost event. Oh, looks like possibly some kind of attack. I don't know. Looks like maybe an attack. Winter Outpost number 5. Let's go over to Fortella, see what we got. We can also construct another building, which would be nice. It was number 4. 5. Number 5. Do. 5. Okay, here we go.
It started with discordant clanging, metal crashing against metal. Then came the abrupt twangs of taut wire being strummed, followed by the cacophonous wailing produced from deep within the robots surrounding the outpost. From sundown to sunup, and that's a long period in the heart of winter, the machines blare their unquiet concert from just outside the city walls. It has been 5 days. 5 days of constant noise, of eardrums that ring throughout the day, of irritable townsfolk trying to survive on the sort of non-sleep new parents know too well. Enough is enough. Option A. Lead a group to sabotage the machines at daybreak when they turn off. Option B. Lead a group to sabotage the machines at nightfall when they turn on.
A or B, chat? A is to lead a group to sabotage the machines at daybreak when they turn off. Or option B, lead a group to sabotage the machines at nightfall when they turn on. Place your votes. So I get the hide because I did go back to Frosthaven. Oh, good point. Yeah, you're right. It's not often that I do that, but you're right. So I do get the hide. Which might mean that we can craft some armor, you know? We can get, like, actually, can we craft armor? No, not without the perk, I don't think. It's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth it without the perk. This sounds like a trap. Everything sounds like a trap. Everything sounds like a trap when you have the trap in your party, I think. I have 15.4 written, actually, down on my calendar on the campaign sheet. I might have to check that. 50-50 again? Guys, come on. I actually do have something written on my campaign sheet. 15.4. Why do I have that written down? I don't have it on the physical sheet, and usually I write it on both. Maybe I forgot to write it on the physical sheet? Maybe it's a typo on the sheet? But I added it, so... Like, I actually added it myself. Chat is trolling these polls. Yeah. Feels like it. Hang on a minute. Before we just resolve this, because 15 point... How about 15.4? Oh, that's to unlock the True Oak storyline. I don't know why that's there. I must have accidentally copied it or something from another column. That's fine. That can be deleted. Okay, we're good. We're good. Where's the gigantic dice? Yeah, it's deflated in the other room at the moment because I have no space to fit it in this room at the moment. Surely we would go to sabotage the machines when they turn off, right? Why would we not go A here? I'm going to go A. You sneak up on the hellish band of noisemakers. Okay, hang on. We're going to do it on Fortella. Ooh. You sneak up.
You sneak up on the hellish band of noisemakers just as they turn off for the morning, dormant in the snow. You make quick work of dismantling the strings, drums, and rattles that have been tormenting the city. Unfortunately, before you can deactivate the last of them, they stir and charge the front gate.
Oh, -2 targets. Is that okay? I mean, I think that's all okay. Highest level buildings first, players break ties. So it's a 35 attack targeting 5. So it's only going to be targeting 3. 35. Currently, our defense is 35 on the nose. 35 on the nose. So obviously we can quite easily fail this. We have plenty of soldiers. Do I want to use 3 soldiers to get advantage on each 3? I think so. You need to get some buildings wrecked to fully experience Frosthaven. I don't know. I feel like we got the soldiers for a reason. So maybe we should just use them. But 35 is not so bad. They're only getting... I could repair them as well. I could repair them. I got so much stuff. I could repair them. So it's the highest level first. So that would be Craftsman's Hut first. Do we care if this gets busted? Maybe because, well, we could just pay the repair cost immediately, right? Okay, so first target, I'm not going to use the soldier on the first one, I think. Because, like, if we can craft, it's like, okay, we didn't really do anything. So even if we can't craft and it gets wrecked, it doesn't matter so much. That's it, 1 card, plus 10, so it's fine. Defended. Craftsman, defended. Next, it would be a tie between the barracks and the alchemist. Let's go alchemist, because again, we don't really care. Not going to spend anything. Okay, so alchemist gets... needs to be repaired. So it's going to cost us any 2, and we can spend that from the communal supply. So we'll spend 2 of our bountiful hide that we have to stop that from happening. Time to write 3 letters to families. Okay, and then the last one is the barracks. Is our other high level one. Losing the barracks is like pretty terrible. So I think we will spend 1 soldier to gain advantage on the barracks one. Because the barracks is the worst one to lose. You know, if this gets wrecked, then we get basically it's like a snowball effect. And we won't be able to get the soldier back anyway. So I feel like the barracks is the one that we should probably do. Oh my words. Yikers. Okay, well we still fail, so we're gonna have to repair it. Nice use of soldier. Yeah, well, yeah, we had to. Soldiers soldiers minus 15. You're right, so we still get it, right? Because it's a minus 10. No, you're right. Yeah, because we got the level 2 barracks. Good catch. So we don't have to do any repair. We do just about stave it off. Woohoo! All right, there we go. That was good. At least we managed to get one thing done kind of okay. By the skin of our teeth, yeah. That was a pretty good one. So now that that's done, we gain 2 collective metal. And I think what I'll do is I'll probably give that to them individually, because then they can craft something, right? Which is kind of a nice thing to have. Because at the moment they're a little bit low on items, and it just makes more sense here to give it to them rather than straight into the supply, which is what I generally usually do. Okay. Nice. So, boop, boop, they can go to the deck. So we got to do building operations, but to be honest, I don't think I can really do anything. I have like no gold, right? Oh, I didn't think about this. I'm not going to be able to build because I'm not going to be able to construct because I have no gold. That sucks. I guess I could upgrade though, right? Upgrading doesn't cost gold. And now that I have Prosperity 3, I could upgrade any of the camps. Ooh, I could upgrade the craftsman too. Oh, I think we do that then, huh? Oh yeah, we definitely upgrade the craftsman then. Okay. So no new buildings, but we can upgrade. Let's upgrade this. Let me just upgrade this. Oh yeah, this bloody thing. Alchemy level 3 is 4, right? Yes. Can't do alchemy yet. Okay, so we'll go to downtime. So we can have a look at some craftable items, why not? But if we are going to get the craftsmen up next time, might be a good idea. So yeah, building operations I can't do because I have no gold. So there's no real reason to, there's nothing I can do in building operations, basically. Because I have no gold. Now, what could we craft that could be relatively useful here? Do we go for the crude helm? a traveling cloak, maybe? I don't think they have a cloak big enough for the... Do they have a cloak big enough? For a crab? I could also just get a heavy sword. Then we're like, full stabby. We're gonna have two different things. You really wish construction was in downtime? I can see why it's not, but yeah. So we could get both this and this for Deep Wraith, which seems kind of okay to me. You know? Oh, 1 extra health and the heavy sword. What does the sword do? During your melee attack ability, add +1 to 1 attack. It's not like crazy good, but considering that we already have a lot of poison and maybe just gives us an opportunity to kind of alpha strike something down. We also have a couple of like attacks, right? That are, if we kill, do this. So having just a +1 we can use on that card every time could give us some really nice value. Good to trigger level 2 card. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I was thinking too. It refreshes too. Yeah. So it just feels like it can turn that attack 2 into an attack 3, and then if they've got poisoned, it's an attack 4. Now suddenly you're looking at like this is actually you know, hopefully we've got a good chance of killing something here, especially if we can you know, have strengthen or something as well, right? Suddenly the attack 2s that we have start looking a lot more like attack 4s and 5s, which is really cool. You like heavy sword? Yeah, I mean, I kind of want an excuse to use it as well, because it was one of the starting items and we just never used it. So I feel like that's what we'll do. So we'll craft these 2, traveling cloak and a heavy sword. Traveling cloak just because, I mean, it gives us 1 extra health. We're going to be in the front line. It's easy. We don't have any hide on the trapper, so we won't be able to do anything there. So the trapper's just got 1 iron and that's it. Not much you can really craft for 1 iron, unfortunately. So let's get rid of 2 hide. Well, we'll have to get all these perks and stuff filled in. Your standard go-to when you just want a hand item for a melee character. Yeah. You also feel like the thought of the crab swinging the sword, right? Well, now we're dual wielding. We are full stabby. Where's our skinning knife gone? Oh, it's over here. We're full on dual wielding now. Got our skinning knife and we got our heavy sword. One in each claw, yeah. You don't get 3 skins with a knife? Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. And that is it. So in terms of like, we got nothing else we can really do in downtime. So we'll go to construction and we will upgrade. So we will upgrade our friend, the craftsman, up to level 4. So that's going to cost us 4 wood, 3 iron and 2 hide, or 3 metal, which we have plenty of. So let's go 15. And that was 2. So much hide. Okay, we're going to gain 1 prosperity. Cool. We're going to get level 3 craftsman out. It means we get to do a sticker too, which is always fun. 3 craftsman. What? Where's the craftsman gone? Huh? Oh, level 4. Sorry, level 4. I was like, what? Level 4 craftsman. Raise. Or Razor, I should say. Welcome to the quest. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. We are so very close to 4,000 followers on Twitch now. It's kind of scary. I think we're within like 10 or something. Ooh, 6. 6 more to go. Ray, no worries. How is it going, Ray? So we need to get items 21 to 25 from the supply. 21, 25. It's really weird that they're like halfway through the stack. Ugh. Right, 21. 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh yeah. Whoa. Ooh, baby. Now we're cooking. All right, first up. Chain hood. I'll remember chain hood. I'm pretty sure this is the same as before, right? This is the same as it was previously. While you're adjacent to 3 or more enemies, gain shield 1. 3 metal, 1 hide. Quite expensive to make. I feel like this kind of item, though, it didn't work very well in Gloomhaven, but I feel like in Frosthaven, items like this have more of a chance, I think. I'd be willing to give it a go. Obviously not on any of our 2 characters that we have, but for a tanky character, for sure. Iron Helm, always super... Exactly. Iron Helm was always kind of the de facto best and cheapest. But maybe that won't be necessarily the case. Heavy chain armor. When you suffer damage from an attack, gain shield 3 for the attack. So, a one-time big damage reduction, but it is a refresh, so could get it multiple times. I generally am more of a fan of like the little and often shields, not the big shields, but I think like they seem to have made a bit of a change with some of the armor in Frosthaven. I've noticed the charged ones we've had have been all on the leather armors and the hide armors, but the metal kind of armor has always been just like a one-time use, which is interesting. I wonder if that's just like a general change. I haven't played a character that's really been able to wear armor like to a crazy extent yet. Sturdy Greaves. At the start of your turn, add -2 move to all your move abilities to gain shield 1 for this round. Is this just give everybody the shield stuff? That's 3 items to do with shielding completely off the bat. Add -2 to all your move abilities to gain. That's interesting. Oh, wow. I like this one quite a lot. So basically, you can give yourself shield 1 for the entire round, but you have to declare at the start of your round, you're going to use -2 off of your moves. So this is kind of like the, this is like Iron Greaves from Gloomhaven, but Iron Greaves was was obviously better because it was just if you moved, I think, 1 or less hexes, you gain shield 1. If you move 1 or less hex on your turn, you gain shield 1 for the round or something. I think that's what it was. So not quite as good as those, but quite flexible actually. I quite like this. I think this is quite a good item. Yeah, it was move 1 or less, yeah. I feel like Sturdy Greaves, that's not too shabby. Corrupted Blade. Ooh, this looks good. During your melee attack, add Wound, Poison, and Muddle to 1 attack. Okay. So basically all 3. It's a single use though. That makes it like a lot less attractive. A lot less attractive. But it's like a one-time thing. I mean, it would be good on our... I mean, it'd be really, really good on our character, right? Because it basically gives us the 3 conditions to then Bane. Turn on Bane. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we should try and save up for that. Maybe we should try and save up for that. Just need a bottom attack, you'd have a turn 1 Bane. Potentially. If an enemy decides to wander close to us, right? It's cool. I like it. So, certainly something that one of our characters could use in the future. Maybe not quite yet, though. And finally, we have Soothing Scepter. During your turn, perform Regenerate, target 1 ally at range 2. That actually could be a really nice hand item for Trapper, right? Because, oh no, we've got net. Of course, we've got net. Sorry, we can't really use this. We've got net. This is a nice support item, though. Really cool. There wasn't enough support items like for like hands and things like that, in my opinion, in original Gloomhaven. So it's good to see that there's like more of those kinds of things coming in. You know, as somebody who wants to sit there and play like, oh, I really want to play a character who's going to like heal, strengthen, bless, all of that kind of stuff. You never really had many items that would really support you in doing that. So I like that there's a few more items. There was this, and there was also that level 1 staff that we had as well. And then we had that Great Oak staff as well. Like, there's some cool things. Good news, look at the crafting requirements for the Corrupted Blade. If I recall, the sword I just bought is the start of the chain for it. I imagine it probably is because it's like 14 is one of the starters, right? So that's like 14. Yeah, heavy sword's 14. And then 98, I would presume, is like maybe... I don't know. I actually thought it would probably be something like a poison dagger, but maybe not. I feel like I just dropped a token somewhere and I can't see it. Oh well. We're on our way. Unhealthy mixture? Oh, it could be. Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's so easy to get then. Oh, that's really easy to get. One thing I really wish they'd done. Yeah, it is unhealthy mixture. One thing I really wish they'd done is put the numbers on the front of the cards. Like, you know, you get an item like this, and you're like looking at it, you're like, oh, that's really cool. Okay, how do I do it? And you have to like turn over all of your cards to see if you've got it already, or go through the shop and look at all of the backs. Like, I just wish that they had printed that number just like, I don't know, here in the like the left-hand side or something. I don't know. I get that there's like not a huge amount of space, but... So in theory, we could actually get Corrupted Blade probably next time, because we do have, well, I don't know, we have some herbs. I don't know if we have 2 duplicates, though. Well, those are some nice items to add. Well, I say that. There's one item there that's actually useful for this party, but it's okay. All good. Right, so this goes in now. In you go. And that means sticker time, everybody. Sticker time. Stick, stick, stick. Oh, there's that. There's the board. Beautiful. The level 4 craftsman. It looks pretty much exactly the same. What's the oh, there's now like a little covered area outside. Very subtle. In fact, it looks like it goes completely cleanly over the old sticker. Nice. Looking good. So that will also trigger our personal quest on the Trapper. Two out of 12. 10 more to go. You missed it. Did I get a challenge from the town hall? I did, Doja, but we ended up pitching it to the bottom because it was really bad. It was really bad. There are 9 levels of craftsman. Hard to have too many differences. Yeah. Well, they could have had like specialist buildings, right? They could have, instead of having the craftsman go all the way up to like level 9, they could have had it like there's a sword master or something, and you unlock that. But you know, maybe that'll be too many stickers. Perhaps in like Frosthaven 2, Electric Boogaloo. Maybe that will do the job. Armor Swift, Weaponsmith, yeah, that kind of thing. And that also gives you like a general good idea of like what one you might want to build. You're like, oh yeah, my character doesn't really wear armor, so maybe I want to build the Weaponsmith. You know, that kind of thing. But I will say that the Craftsman feels like you get very little every time you kind of level up. You get a very like, you get a small like 4 or 5 items. You don't get very many. You know, it felt like, is it a similar amount to Prosperity? I'm trying to think of like how many items you unlock with Prosperity. Some of them, I swear you would unlock like 6 items. 6 to like 8 items with Prosperity sometimes. But then that also included potions, so it's kind of a bit wacky. Doesn't really, I'm trying to think of like actually how many physical items, like, you know, paper doll items that you would have. But oh, you did have potions, right? The next game will just become an RPG. Well, it's kind of already trying to be, right? It's already trying to be. Yeah, it kind of already is, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was like a not a great first outing today for our 2 new mercenaries. Apologies everybody, but like when I'm not, like I'd much rather just sit here and like chat to you guys and like shoot the breeze and just chat Frosthaven than get myself wound up about a bad scenario when it's not going to go well. So I'd much rather do that. And it's cool, like coming back, doing a little bit of extra, getting another Outpost event. We kind of want Outpost events right now, so I'm happy with that. But it feels a little bit, you know, cheesy and a little bit short-winded today. I felt like it was still good. You're the same way? Yeah. I just felt like there's no... Like, for me, if I'm not jiving with a scenario, I don't want to sit there and play it out for a really long time.
I think still, yeah.
That's the blessing from Cab. That's the blessing from...
Isaac, at this point, can we get your approval to add an additional attack modifier deck for allies in the digital?